Ray C was once the queen of Bongo Fleva. The early 2000s were hers and she had no competition for her crown. Then everything came crashing down when she met her ex-boyfriend Lord Ice. We will get into that a bit later. So what really happened to Ray C and why did she attempt suicide before cops rescued her? Brace yourself you all because it's not going to be pretty.
Mimi nishapitia, marafiki zangu wote nilikuwa nao wote walinikimbia. I messed up, I agree, I accept.
Born Rehema Chalamila on May 15th, 1982 in Iringa, Tanzania, Ray C discovered her love for music at a very young age. Soon after moving to Dar es Salaam in her 20s, a radio job came knocking and Clouds FM hired her as a presenter. However, it didn't take long before she was forced to quit the radio job since her bosses were against the idea of her juggling radio and music.
Na nikaacha kabisa utangazaji actually. Sababu aliniambia hawezi kufanya vitu viwili kwa wakati mmoja.
Leaving the radio job gave her more time to work on a debut album Mapenzi Yangu released in 2003. It's fair to say that most of the songs on that album are pretty average except for her breakthrough track Uko Wapi.
Uko wapi nikufuate?
After Uko Wapi, her name was literally everywhere. She was the East African Beyonce, rocking regional and international gigs.
Kuna zile nyimbo ambao kidogo zilivuka boda. Wimbo gani huu ambao ulikupa umaarufu kabisa?
Uko wapi nikufuate.
2003 was also the year Ray C will drop her next big single Wanitafutia Nini. The song arguably cemented her status as the greatest East African female artist of all time. The video vixen in that song is former Big Brother African contestant Mwisho Mwapamba, with whom they were dating at that time. While we do not know the exact date the two broke up, it's probably around 2006. The songbird had another successful year in 2004. Besides the song that she featured in, Ray C also released the smash hit Na Wewe Milele. She also released her sophomore album Na Wewe Milele that year. I'm actually not so sure why we put that song there, but yeah, she was the video vixen of the original Regina song. The Mama Ntilie hitmaker would win 2 awards that year. Best Female Artist at the 2004 Tanzania Music Awards and Best Female Artist from Uganda and Tanzania at the 2004 Kisima Music Awards. The year 2005 was a less successful year for her in terms of hits and the standard she had previously set for herself, but she still managed to give us Kama Vipi, which was a collaboration between Ray C, Mesbi and Nura. The song was a work of art, a masterpiece. It's actually one of my top 3 favorite East African collaborations ever. Let's jump to 2007. Ray C was red hot this year. She released the smash hit Sogea Sogea this year.
Siku ya kwanza uliponitokea nilishindwa hata kujizuia. Sogea sogea wecheza nami.
Her third album, Sogea Sogea, was also dropped the same year. She was even named the best female artist at the 2007 Tanzania Music Awards, making her the first Tanzanian female artist to at least be nominated for the coveted award in 5 consecutive years. She was also featured in Temba's 2007 hit song Nipe Wewe. Sadly, 2007 was Ray C's last year in her prime, and you could feel it. A year later, she released a series of projects that didn't do well. Furthermore, Bongo Fleva was in decline as Afrobeat with artists like D'banj, P-Square, Brackets and the likes was taking over the entire African continent. Next came a long hiatus till 2010. To be honest, she had a pretty good year in 2010, especially in terms of collaborations. She would be featured in 2 classic songs, Mama Ntilie and Moto Moto by French Boy.
Na nikasema
nikaja kutana na kijana wa Nairobi anipenda na nilishindwa kukata.
Then she disappeared again, only to reappear in 2012 when she promised her fans that she was putting up a band called Ray C Band. The band never saw the light of day. The Moto hitmaker would break the internet a few months later when news broke out that she was abusing hard drugs. All the blame would be put on her ex-boyfriend Lord Ice, who was already a drug addict. Ray C has also claimed in past interviews that it was Lord Ice that introduced her to drugs.
Kitu gani kiliku influence mpaka ukajikuta kwamba umeingia kwenye addiction?
Company tu. Ya marafiki tu, you know. So my ex-boyfriend was lakini marafiki wabaya pia hawakunishikia bunduki ati. So mwisho wa siku decision ilikuwa ni yangu mimi mwenyewe. So na accept maisha jinsi yalivyo na yalivyokuwa, kwamba I messed up, I agree, I accept life as it is, and I move on.
Ray C and Lord Ice began dating when Ray C was at her peak. She was very young at that time, so she was vulnerable to manipulation. However, in a 2020 interview with Wasafi Media, the rapper refuted the claims that he introduced Ray C to drugs, stating that he found the song Stress already hooked on drugs. Sikuwahi mfunza mtu yoyote madawa, nimemkuta ameshawahi kutumia, said Lord Ice. With drug addiction taking a toll on her, Ray C was forced to sell her house, clothing boutique, cars, and even herself to finance her habit. When her finances dried up, she became miserable. Her friends in and out of the music industry who could have helped her abandoned her.
Mimi nimeshapitia, marafiki zangu wote nilikuwa nao wote walinikimbia. Watu wote. Yani watu hata wale powerful ambao unaona kwamba wangeweza kunisaidia wote walikimbia. Yani everybody.
In an attempt to help her daughter, Ray C's mother, Margaret Mtweve, appealed to Tanzania's president at that time, President Jakaya Kikwete, to help. President Kikwete agreed to help and paid for her rehab.
Nilikuwa naumwa, nashukuru Mungu mzima sasa hivi na naendelea na matibabu. Namshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais, baba yangu Mheshimiwa Jakaya Kikwete amenisaidia sana, ameniponyesha na niko mzima kabisa na naendelea na matibabu. Naomba muendelee kuniombea. Asanteni sana.
She will disappear from the public eye for 3 years for her treatment. When she reappeared in 2015, she was totally unrecognizable. Ray C was overweight. Her fans were apprehensive. For a woman who once looked like this, her weight ranged from 90 kgs to 100 kgs during those 3 years in rehab. Fortunately, she lost a lot of weight thanks to the advice of her doctor. The demands of a professional career and the stress of her personal life became too much for her. On June 17, 2016, Ray C was sent back to rehab in Dar es Salaam after being rescued from a suicide attempt. Now, let's move on to 2018. This was the year when she became completely clean. Despite all the things she had gone through, she managed to move on and focus again on making music. On May 8, 2018, Ray C would be featured in the late Papa Dennis song Tornado. On June 7th, she released the song Unanidatisha featuring Calligraph Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with the best. You got the OG alongside Ray C.
On September 21st, Ray C would drop Unanimaliza. And Roga Roga on October 26th. Also in 2018, Ray C publicly introduced her Mzungu boyfriend through social media. While she didn't release much music in 2019, she still gave us Umezima, release on February 5th, 2019. It will be her last song. A few months later, just when we all thought she was done with suicidal thoughts, Ray C, through a series of Instagram stories, confessed that she had been contemplating suicide because of depression. Huu mwaka najisikia kama kujiua hivi. I'm so depressed. Na mawazo sana. Indeed, 2019 was a difficult year for her. Through a social media post in September of the same year, Ray C revealed to her fans that she had suffered a miscarriage and sought advice from other women. Naombeni ushauri kina mama wote, nifanyeje mimba isitoke, imeniuma, imebidi nishare nanyi, #mybabynomore, #mwanangu kaenda zake. Let's jump to 2023. After years of trying, Ray C gave birth to her first child, Sharuk, on February 13, 2023. Naitwa Mama Sharuk, #thankyougod, jubilated Ray C wrote on her Instagram page. Currently, Ray C lives in France with her Mzungu husband. Additionally, she seems to be done with the music phase of her life and has shifted her focus to being a wife and mother. We are not so sure if Racy will ever get back into the studio, but the hits she gave us and the numerous awards she won during her prime prove that her legacy will live on forever. So do you guys really believe that Lord Eyes ruined Racy's career, or do you think it was her fault that her career went down the drain? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Stay safe, see you on our next upload. Bless.
Na Mungu ni mkubwa sana, asanteni sana, na endeleeni kunisupport.